News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
It's now 5:05 in the KVNU studios. As we can say, the weekend is officially here. I'm Will Fiorite. Well, KVNU's top story, Utah transportation officials are warning drivers about significant traffic delays this afternoon. As spring break travel is surging now despite statewide gas prices surpassing $4 a gallon. Now, the Utah Department of Transportation is reporting heavy congestion this afternoon, particularly along southbound I-15. Now, there's several pockets, particularly in Davis County, also between Spanish Fork and Nephi, and then from Cedar City to St. George. Now, drivers also need to be prepared for weekend road closures. That includes in sections of Bangor Highway in Salt Lake County and also U.S. Highway 89 in Davis County. Now, travelers are facing sticker shock at the pump right now. According to AAA, Utah's average gas price reached $4.16 per gallon this week, and experts attribute the $1.38 monthly spike to increased seasonal demand and global oil supply disruptions that have stemmed from ongoing geopolitical conflicts in the Middle East. Now, UDOT is advising motorists to maybe delay their trip just by a couple hours to avoid some of the congestion right now. Well, in other news, state officials are warning Utahns that an unusually dry winter season could mean that water will be in short supply during the spring and summer months. Now, Utah is facing a significant water shortfall due to the record low snowpack, which is about half of normal levels. Now, Laura Haskell is with the Utah Division of Water Resources, and she says that Utah is urging residents and communities to conserve water following the local watering guidance.
When you look at it statewide, we got just over 8 inches of water. Typically, we would have 16 inches of water. In Utah, about 95% of our water supply actually comes from our snowpack.
Now, Haskell says specific conservation measures are left to local providers as systems vary depending on whether an area uses groundwater or surface water and whether reservoirs are present.
We have a certain amount of water, and we're probably going to rely on stored water this year. And so it's really important that everyone does their part to use as little stored water as possible.
Now, Haskell adds that although reservoirs are currently around 68% full, reduced spring runoff means the state will rely heavily on stored water this year. Well, for the rest of the evening, we're going to see temperatures dropping into the low 40s with these high clouds continuing into Saturday and Sunday, as the weekend temperature is going to stay right around the low 70s with overnight in the low 40s. Heading into next week, increasing clouds with a chance of rain and thunderstorms coming our way for Tuesday and Wednesday. And weather brought to you by Mountain Valley Heating. They're still offering their free in-home air quality assessment to help improve the air quality in your home. It can help not only improve the health of your lungs, but also reduce the sicknesses around your home. Call Mountain Valley Heating, 753-5170 for that free in-home air quality assessment. It's Mountain Valley Heating, and I'm Will Fiorite for KVNU News.
Did you know you can cut your Rocky Mountain power bill by 40 to 50% without a single solar panel? With the new time of use rates, power is 4.5 times more expensive in the evening, but cheap during the day. At Greenbox Solar, we install smart home batteries that charge up when electricity is cheap, then power your home during peak hours. Solar is totally optional and can be added in the future, but savings are guaranteed. Drop by Greenbox Solar's showroom in South Logan to see the hardware for yourself. Visit our website at poweredbygreenbox.com.
Covering all the news. Stay with 610 AM and 102.1 FM. News Talk KVNU.
Hi everyone, it's Congressman Blake Moore here. Strong families are the bedrock of our communities. That's why I'm focused on bringing Utah's core values to Washington and advancing pro-family legislation. I helped permanently increase the child tax credit, create investment accounts for children, and incentivize employers to provide better access to childcare, benefiting families and setting up our next generation for success. As a father of 4 boys, family is everything, and I am continuing to work on solutions to make raising a family in America more affordable. To learn more about what I am doing to advocate for you and your family in Congress, sign up for my weekly e-newsletter at blakemore.house.gov and follow along on social media at Rep. Blake Moore. If your family needs help navigating a federal agency or has questions about what I'm working on, please give my office a call at 801-625-0107. Happy to also help coordinate U.S. Capitol tours, take your comments, and provide legislative updates at any time. It is our honor to serve you and your family in Congress. Thank you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Spring cleaning your house is bad enough. Don't add your car to the list. Let Cash Car Wash Express and Detail handle it for you. Their professional detailers will clean your car inside and out and make it feel like new again. Dog hair, muddy footprints, that Christmas candy melted into the seat. Yep, they've seen it all. And they'll even protect your paint from wet spring weather with their ceramic wax spray for deep shine that lasts. This spring, skip the hassle and let Cash Car Wash do the dirty work. Stop by 260 East 1400 North in Logan and see why they're not just better, they're the best. Cash Car Wash.
Here's Chad Norton, the lawn doctor, with a tip for your lawn.
No hard freeze and a mild winter means a couple things. More bugs and more weeds are on the way. Now is the time to protect your lawn before the heat of summer arrives. A healthy lawn starts early. Apply a pre-emergent this spring to help prevent weeds before they take over. Help avoid the struggle of this summer. Start the season strong and schedule your lawn service with us today.
Fertilizer, weed, and pest control. Call the Lawn Doctor at 753-LAWN or go to LawnDoctorCashValley.com.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. Andy Morgan of AndyAtTheMovies.com and the For the People movie show. Starting up in just a couple of minutes here. Before we get to that, just a quick, so we got a few calls during the break there. People reporting, some pretty significant smoke, to the northwest of Logan or northwest portion of Logan. And, so people got a couple of calls during the break, people asking if there was a grass fire, what was going on. And so, did some checking, and, this is what I was able to figure out for those seeing the smoke. It is, and they saw lights and fire trucks heading out, one driver said. From what I understand, fire dispatch was, alerted to a grass fire near 1200 West and 10th North in Logan. And there appears to be some confusion over whether or not this is a permitted controlled burn or a permitted controlled burn that has gotten out of control, or whether it is just a grass fire. It sounds like everyone's leaning towards permitted controlled burn at this point, but I guess it did raise some alarm, and it did result in calls to local fire crews via 911, and we'll keep you posted. But that's what we know right now. They are asking, just in case, if you're in the area, if you can avoid the area, or if you're headed to the area, please choose an alternate route, because there is, until they have all this sorted out and make sure that that fire is under control, there is a lot of emergency first responder traffic in the area and headed in that direction. So again, appreciate the listeners who did call. Calls started coming in just as we wrapped up hour one of today's show before heading into the movie show. And I took a peek out the window here and could see what they're talking about. But yeah, if you're seeing that smoke, again, fire crews are aware, and some have already arrived on scene. And again, from just a little bit of what I could find out, there seems to be confusion over whether this is a permitted controlled burn or something else. And if it is a permitted controlled burn, if it's just something that maybe got a little larger than they expected, we'll keep you posted. But short version, don't panic. It's a lot of smoke. They're on top of it, and it looks like things are under control. So Also wanted to throw this out one more time for listeners out there. The Utah Department of Health and Human Services is going to be in Logan on Monday afternoon, and they are looking for folks to offer them some feedback. This is an opportunity to conduct meetings with residents and community leaders and a series of surveys that they'll do. And the overall goal of all this is just to see if, kind of what the state of health here is in northern Utah. And I forgot last hour to throw that out, so I'm throwing it out now. And I posted a link on our Facebook page if you'd like to participate in any of this. So appreciate those who have already taken the survey, Bear River Health Department officials say, but they would like more responses. Link on the Facebook page. All right. For the People movie show. Now, Andy Morgan of AndyAtTheMovies.com here, and he's hydrated, he's moisturized, Andy, I have to throw this out quick before we really get into the discussion about Project Hail Mary and everything else. But I wanted to just point out to listeners that a film that I saw, and this is worth the drive to Ogden, a film that I saw at the Sundance Film Festival has actually been released in theaters. The closest you can find it, it's playing in South Jordan, Sandy, Centerville, but it's playing at the Junction in Ogden, and it's worth the drive. I'm sure this will show up somewhere. Probably this has everything about this documentary says HBO Max to me, but it hasn't been announced there yet. But it's called The AI Doc, or How I Became an Apocaloptimist. And I saw this one. I didn't really want to see this one. Some friends talked me into it while I was at the film festival. It ended up being one of my favorites because being an AI cynic, I'm an eye roller. When people start telling me what AI is going to be able to do, I'm an eye roller. But I also rolled my eyes when the experts told us that Google search was going to make everyone dumb. So,
it did, kind of, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, I don't think the search option made everyone dumb, but I think what we decided to do with that did. Yeah.
Michael Crichton warned us.
That's right.
He warned us.
I'm an AI skeptic mainly because it's being oversold so that they can get investor money. It's not ready for prime time. It needs to bake another 5 years easily. I'm saying that as a nerd, that knows a little bit of what the back end of this stuff looks like. It's not AI. They should stop calling it that. It's just really smart software. And, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just smart software. It's not revolutionary, yet. It could be. This, though, documentary is basically, this guy he is a panicker. He's panicked. He says this is going to ruin entertainment. It's going to ruin politics. States aren't ready for it. The federal government isn't ready for it. There are no rules or laws in place on how this can and should ethically be used. People are insane to be talking about AI being applied in healthcare, psychology, and he says, I'm just all of those things. And so then he's challenged to actually start learning about it, and he spends a year talking to researchers and developers and ethicists, and all kinds of people. So the whole point of the documentary is his evolution into a person that says, all right, you know what?
I changed my mind.
Well, kind of. He's still pretty down on it as far as its potential abuses. But the movie is about him coming to a point where he's like, everybody calm down. We're going to be all right. We've had these panics before. He actually references one of my favorite bits of history. I wasn't old enough at the time to actually experience this, but I read about it in college, and it's still one of my favorite stories to tell. If you've never read about it, if maybe you're old enough to remember it yourself, Google search. See, I threw that in there. The Pac-Man panic of the 1980s. And then click on some of the links to statements by, there's the New York City mayor at a podium in front of 1,000 people. It ended up on the news networks that were kind of new at the time on cable. And, he's literally there talking about how Pac-Man and arcades are going to create these roving gangs of drug-addled, pudding brain teenagers. And so he's actually proposing that the city council ban arcades within New York City.
Yeah.
And you watch it now and you're thinking,
that's so silly.
Really? That's so silly. But at the time, And so you have to keep that in mind when you see these see the movie.
Everyone gets nervous about the corner cases, and they think the corner cases are going to be. Yeah. It's the same thing when everyone talks about violence, in video games related to violence. And I always just go back and say, I've been playing Call of Duty. I've been playing Halo, like every, type of shooter. And never once in my life was I like, I'm a little aggrieved. I think I may go shoot up a building. I think I'll do that. That just never has crossed my mind. I've never been like, I think I'll shoot a person. Like, that's just never been in my brain. So,
well, and the research suggests we're not as impressionable as a lot of the panics.
Yeah.
Like, here's an example. Ozzy Osbourne's music has not ever made someone commit suicide. That was a whole thing in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife.
Yeah.
She made Two Live Crew famous. No one knew who Two Live Crew was until she wanted them banned from Walmart.
100%.
And then everyone knew who they were, and they were rich because of her.
Yeah, we can thank them for the, Al Gore didn't invent the internet, but his wife did invent the parental advisory label.
And those were effective, right?
Yeah. Well, I know, and now it's just kind of funny because sometimes I'll go to the movies and I'll watch a trailer and be like, did they just say the F word in the trailer? It's almost like...
It is actually kind of surprising when you run across one of those rated R trailers and you're not prepared for it. Because you're not used to hearing that in the... speaking of trailers, when I saw Project Hail Mary, good slew of trailers.
Yeah, and what I liked about it is they did kind of the old school where they had a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Then they had a full trailer, and then they just had a bunch of little tiny television spots.
I felt like the Dune Messiah trailer, Dune Part 3. The book's called Dune Messiah if you're reading them. But it's actually the second book.
Yeah.
But it's the third movie. And
and have you read this too?
It was like 7 minutes long trailer.
They're also not moving. I predicted that they'd move the release date.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Oh, I misread. I thought they were.
No, they're going full weekend with Avengers. In fact, the theater owners were like, we've been begging for this.
That actually, I was going to say that could be cool. It worked out well with,
Barbie and
Barbenheimer.
Yeah, now it's Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Yep, Doomsday. I was a little worried about Project Hail Mary, just with how
the Avengers, Madiba.
Thondiba. Yeah, I was worried about Project Hail Mary at the box office a little bit, just because. Yeah, I thought the Fall Guy.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought about. I thought
that would kill it, and it didn't.
This could be another Fall Guy, and yeah.
I worried because everybody loves Ryan Gosling, but is Ryan Gosling a franchise kind of carrying guy? He's a solid guy in every movie.
Yeah, he's always good, but
does
he turn out a crowd?
Is he Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Is he?
I feel like Andy Weir and The Martian with its success is probably more of a seller. Right, for Project Hail Mary.
And the book was super, super popular. It came out in 2021.
Yeah. The book sold better than The Martian because The Martian was unknown when it was.
Wasn't The Martian
published.
Self-published?
Yeah, he published it chapter by chapter on Amazon for 99 cents a chapter. And then it got so popular on Amazon, a publishing company. He wasn't seeking a publisher.
Yeah,
a publishing company called him and said, "We'll give you $45 million." And he said, I can't see myself saying no to that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I took a while. I got this for Christmas from my daughter, I think a couple Christmases ago, and it just kind of sat on my to-read shelf, and I thought, man, I loved The Martian,
Yeah.
I would love this. I ended up reading part of the book, and then as we got close with the movie and I was running behind, I was like, I have to listen to this on audiobook. And I will say this, if you haven't read the book, it's worth reading. But I will also say, if you like audiobooks, it's so great.
You recommended this to me, and so I spent the last week doing that.
Yeah.
Before seeing the movie.
Well, and here's something that I did not know that I learned today is the voice of Rocky in the movie Project Hail Mary is done by the gentleman that read the audiobook.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he does a lot of voices. That audiobook.
I have to say this. One of my concerns, having read the book or listened to the book, And so I read the book a year ago, but I wanted to, I have a horrible memory sometimes, so I wanted to redo it before seeing the movie, because I occasionally, but very rarely, can I read a book after I've seen the movie if I haven't read it before. I'm just not inspired to do so.
Yeah.
So I wanted to reread this, and so then you recommended the audiobook, so I listened to it, and as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, oh, there's so much potential to make Rocky in the film a little too cutesy, a little too,
almost
Disney.
like WALL-E.
Yeah, WALL-E. And I was so worried that they were going to do that, and I'm happy to report they did not.
No, and
in fact, he's kind of a jerk at first.
Yeah, that's actually funny when you get into the book that there's often times where he's just bossy.
Yeah.
That is actually one of the greatest parts of the movie is there's this kind of cutaway scene where, again, just so everyone's clear, like the plot, we find out that the son basically has kind of like a virus, like it's sick.
Yeah, it's something sucking the energy out of it.
Preying on it. They do some sciencey stuff, figure out they notice that there's one star that's not infected. They don't know why.
Basically, they find out it's this thing that's been happening for a really long time. We just can't see it.
Yeah.
And then they invent some technology that allows us to see it. And they're like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then they notice every other sun around us has the same thing.
Yeah. So they send,
except for one.
Yeah. So they put a crew together to go out to this, star
that for some reason it's not being affected.
Yeah, and
so they want to figure out why.
Yeah, and when they get there, he notices they just basically see another ship out there, and the ship, they ended up like docking with the ship, and it's just this kind of like there's this portion of the movie, and obviously in the book where he basically the first person to meet an alien.
Yeah,
and
it's done in some ways that are really different.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it such a cool story is it's not your typical First Contact movie. It's not, because they're both on the same mission. They have an agenda that's complete. So meeting each other for the first time is actually secondary.
Yeah.
Because they're both trying to save their species. But I also, I mean, it's hard to go into this with, I don't want to spoil anything for everyone, but I remember this from the book too. I love the dynamics around all of this because I thought about how to say this today so that we don't spoil anything. And this is the way we should put it. Not everyone on the mission is there voluntarily.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. And I thought throwing in some of those dynamics is it really, I don't know, it's just a very good story.
Well, and it's very,
you'll be engaged.
Yeah. As far as being faithful to the published material, it's been a long time since I've seen a movie where almost beat for beat is the same as the book.
They skip a couple of things out of just, I would guess, just timing decisions. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise it's
great. You know what? It made me wonder. It made me wish that I could go back in time and wave a magic wand so that Phil Lord and Chris Miller would have been able to finish the Solo movie instead of getting fired.
I wonder that all the time.
And then they got Ron Howard.
I still want to see that movie that they would have made.
Nothing's wrong with Ron Howard.
No, but he made a Ron Howard movie.
Oh, there was a director that my son Sam was talking about the other day, and I said he's the Ron Howard of Steven Spielberg's. I don't remember what director it was, but we were laughing pretty hard about it.
What did I see Spielberg's name on recently as a producer?
Oh, it was Hamnet.
Hamnet, yeah, that's right.
And Sam Mendes. But
that's what it was.
Well, no, and you can tell he's getting old too, because like while he loves Hamnet and he loves Chloe Zhao, when they were interviewing him, they were asking about her as a director, and he was like, "Boy, she has a different style." Like it's almost like she's a little bit of I would call her like kind of a hippie.
Yeah.
Where, she's like, okay, everyone, before the scene today, let's ground our chakras. I don't know if that's a thing.
Join hands.
I just said it out loud. Ground our chakras.
Everyone's got a clover leaf wreath around their head.
But she's very effective and she's obviously is a fantastic director, but
yeah.
I think Spielberg, it's kind of one of those grandpa things where he's like, well, back in my day, we just took the clapper out and said, action.
I think that conversation has probably actually happened.
We just expected people to do their jobs. We didn't know we had to work with people's chakras. Anyway, He's like, that's what it was like when we did the talkies.
He has kind of turned into the get off my lawn guy of Hollywood, hasn't he?
Well, did you notice that, I think I'm 1,000,000% sure. Again, think about who was at the Oscars when those happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You got, the K-pop Demon Hunters folks. You've got, there was somebody else that was there, and I thought, oh, that's why. But he brought his granddaughter.
Oh, is that who it was?
It had to be. I mean, it's not his daughter. There's no way.
I wasn't sure if he was there with that person or just sitting next to him.
I think he brought his granddaughter.
That would make sense.
She was like, I want to see the K-pop Demon Hunters, Grandpa. And he was like, you bet. And he's like, I don't know what this is. Just clapping along.
I don't know what that is, but I laugh when everyone else does.
But yeah, it's, I'm going to say something controversial. I give Project Hail Mary, the movie, straight up A. It's great.
That's your first one of the year, right?
I think so. I think you're right. I'd have to go back and check my records. But I'm pretty sure, I gave that an A. The thing though that I would say is I still put The Martian above it. Oh. Just slightly. It's like literally by a nose.
And really only because, not because there are any flaws with Project Hail Mary, it's just a different story.
It is.
The Martian is such a perfect Robinson Crusoe kind of almost action adventure story. And this one gets a little more thoughtful.
It's very similar though.
Yeah, it's really similar.
Yeah, the characters are almost...
In fact, I remember when I first started reading the book, I thought, really?
Yeah.
Mr. Weir?
Yeah, you were like...
You really...
Like, what if we took the Martian and made it a spaceship?
Well, yeah, what
Mars.
If instead of him being alone on Mars, he's alone on a spaceship.
And he's got amnesia.
Yeah. I remember, because the opening pages of Project Hail Mary are really cool. He's having a conversation with something and it's not going well.
Robot.
Yeah, and then you...
AI.
Yeah, it's AI, actually. And then you realize he's being tested because he's coming out of a induced coma. And then you quickly realize he's alone on a spaceship and doesn't know why. And then I remember thinking, I almost stopped.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm not really.
No, but then
you're just going to recycle it.
What's so great?
A whole different story.
Yeah. And what's so great is how he almost like opens the windows as you're going through the book. Like, it's like you're in a dark room and he just like little by little.
That played out really well in the film.
It did very well.
The way they slowly, because you don't really find out his whole story why he's on this ship.
He's remembering it in blips.
Yeah. I think it's in the final third of the movie where you get the final pieces of how he ends up on this ship.
Yeah.
And you've kind of forgotten at that point that it's an unanswered question.
I'm going to go.
And it makes it a little bit of a mystery of sorts.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go further too and say a couple things. I nominated The Martian for Best Picture back in the day, when that was
the Utah Film Critics.
And I'm going to tell you right now that unless 4 other movies come along, 5 other movies and knock this out, this is going to be on my list for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And I honestly probably will put Ryan Gosling up there for Best Actor. I think you're going to see some momentum on that because when you start getting into your late 40s, early 50s, ask Russell Crowe, ask Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Right? Ask Martin Scorsese. He actually had to get into his 100s.
Yeah.
Just kidding. His eyebrows are 100. But he literally, people start going, he probably should have had an Oscar a while ago.
Yeah.
How about this
is another one where you realize
it's a Lifetime Achievement Award versus an actual
of just being a little bit better than good enough. No, this is one where, you can really kind of see his talent. Because again, it's kind of hard to talk about some of this without spoiling anything, but there are some things that have to occur where he has to play, because he's not a hero in this. He's not a bad guy, but he's not like a hero.
Yeah,
he doesn't really want to be there. As he remembers why he's there, he's got good reason to be pretty bitter about it. The flashbacks to when he's a science teacher before he gets recruited to this whole global mission to save the human race. He's not interested, and his life's kind of fallen apart. Recently divorced. I can't remember why. Anyway.
Yeah.
So like he's not this typical, whereas Matt Damon in The Martian is just, James Bond of being stuck on Mars.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Those stories are fun. This is, I guess the point I'm getting at is that despite the similarities, this is a really different story. And it does get, in a way, a little bit philosophical.
Yeah.
At times.
And as you learn more about the story, right, you start to realize that, he's like, he wakes up and he's got amnesia. That's a side effect of, they're in these long comas, right? Being fed by robots and stuff because it takes what? I think they said, it's 16 light years away. No,
Yeah.
Rocky's planet is 16 light years. So it's like 13 light years away.
Yeah.
And, traveling at whatever speed they're traveling at, it takes them about 4 years to get from Earth to there. But the other problem is, it's that whole time dilation that you get in Interstellar. Yeah. Remember?
And I forgot about those rules. So this is another thing. This is one of those movies, because you've talked about this before. This is one of those movies where they're not assuming the audience is stupid.
Right.
They just assume certain basic things about relativity and speed of light and things like that.
That scene still to this day in Interstellar just kills me when, they go down to the water planet. And it's playing the ticking clock music, which is so great. Again, Hans Zimmer, hat tip, just so amazing.
Yeah.
And they're like, every minute you're down there, and I can't remember how many minutes they're there, but they leave and they go back and they open they dock the ship and they go in the main ship and the one scientist is like, I waited. And they were like, how many minutes? And he's like, it's been 27 years or something like that, 23 years since they went down to the planet. Like, it's just insane, how that all lands out. So anyway, you get to the end of the book and I think, the character Ryland Grace, who Ryan Gosling plays, I remember at some point he's like, you know what? He's like, I think I'm over 50 in Earth years.
Yeah.
He goes, but I think I've been gone from Earth for like 70 years. So anyway, I would also say too, it's very, I don't know I'll be honest, I don't know if this is rated PG or PG-13.
I had to check. It's PG-13.
Yeah, which is very strange because it is very, I think this is a very family-friendly movie.
Yeah.
Not that, again.
Sometimes I think that
if this had a PG, people wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, that's what, sometimes I think they throw a PG-13 on because people are like, well,
yeah,
I don't want to see Bambi.
So they're like, we'll have Rocky
going to Bambi's space movie.
So Rocky drops like 3 F-bombs. Just kidding. He doesn't. No,
I don't think there's any languages there.
No, there's not.
There's a little bit of, violence, but it's necessary.
I mean, it might, I'll be honest. And again, if you don't want to go to the theater, which I would suggest seeing it on a big screen, but if you don't, it'll be on Amazon Prime probably within 4 or 5 months.
I would see this one in the theater. It is a big enough movie and a loud enough movie.
Yeah.
I'd see this one on the big screen. And, I forgot the time. We gotta go to the news. All right. For the People Movie Show with Andy Morgan of AndyAtTheMovies.com here in the studio. And we'll be back right after this look at the news with KVN News. We'll feel right.
Well, thanks, Jason. Utahns are continuing to feel the pain at the pump as gas prices have now soared to an average of $4.16 per gallon in the state. Now, AAA reports that a gallon of gas in Utah jumped another 33 cents over the past week and $1.38 over the past month as the United States remains engulfed in the war in Iran. Now, according to AAA, the national average could reach $4 per gallon in the coming days for the first time since August of 2022. Now, fuel prices around Utah have all increased. Right now, the average for a gallon of gas in Logan is $4.19, while Ogden is at $4.14, Salt Lake City is at $4.16, and southern Utah seeing some of the most expensive prices at $4.21. Now, to help Utahns save on their mileage, it's encouraged that you use regular gas instead of premium, remove any unnecessary weight from your vehicle, and also avoid excessive idling. Well, following a deadly February that saw 4 avalanches in just 5 days, the Utah Department of Transportation is now exploring new drone technology to improve backcountry safety. Now, UDOT is considering a partnership with a Nebraska-based company called Drone Amplify to utilize its Montes system. Now, the specialized drones would be able to carry and drop explosive charges onto mountainsides to safely trigger controlled avalanches. Now, the CEO, Karik Datweiler, said that the system offers flexibility and speed, making mitigation efforts safer for operators. Now, UDOT spokesman John Gleason noted that while current methods are effective, the agency is reviewing regulations to potentially integrate drone technology. It's a process that could take, though, several years. And a West Jordan Quick Market employee is being hailed as a hero after intervening to stop an elderly woman from losing $23,000 to a sophisticated Bitcoin ATM scam. Marcio Campos had noticed the woman appeared to be panicking while following urgent phone instructions from someone that was posing as law enforcement. Now, the scammer had convinced the woman to withdraw thousands of dollars in cash and was about to deposit it into the store's cryptocurrency machine. Now, recognizing the red flags from a similar scam that previously had targeted his own mother, Campos stepped in. Now, despite the woman's initial resistance, believing that she was speaking to real police, Campos persisted and urged her to call local authorities. Now, responding West Jordan police officers confirmed the fraud, saving her from a devastating financial loss. Way to go. And weather-wise, going to see high clouds continuing through the rest of the evening as we've been in the mid-60s today. Tonight will drop to around 42. Tomorrow's high temps will be right around the low 70s. We'll see those temperatures continue Sunday and then a little cooler on Monday. High clouds will start to increase first of next week as we see a chance of some rain and thunderstorms coming for Tuesday and Thursday. And weather this hour brought to you by Whole Tree Care with over 30 years of experience. They can safely trim, shape, and remove trees. Call them today if you have dangerous trees that might damage your home. It's Whole Tree Care online at wholetreecare.com. Will Fiore for KVNU News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A U.S. official says 12 U.S. service members were injured in an Iranian attack at an airbase in Saudi Arabia. President Trump at a leadership conference today saying despite Iranians saying they're not negotiating, they are.
They don't know what's happening. Remember this, they lied about 3 days ago. I said, yeah, we're negotiating with Israel. We are not negotiating. They're being hit so hard, anybody would be negotiating.
Police say Tiger Woods has been arrested and charged with a DUI after he was involved in a rollover crash in Florida. He was seriously hurt in a 2021 crash, which severely damaged his right leg. No deal in Congress to fund the Department of Homeland Security. A bipartisan Senate bill died in the House today. And a House short-term funding bill, even if approved tonight, won't be considered by the Senate until they return from recess. Meanwhile, President Trump signing an executive order to pay TSA employees starting next week. This is ABC News.
Spring is a time where everything starts fresh again, and sometimes we want that for ourselves too. At Bell Sculpt, we help women and men explore body contouring procedures designed around their goals. Whether you've been thinking about it for years or just ready to feel more confident again now, your consultation's completely free and zero pressure, just options. This season, bloom with Bell. Schedule your free consultation today at bellsculpt.fm.
It's Truck Month at West Motor Company. And around here, buying a truck still starts with a handshake. West Motor Truck Month. For over 80 years, West Motor has been doing business the right way. Straight talk and serious savings. We're talking up to $12,000 off heavy-duty trucks and up to $11,000 off half-tons. Plus, get 0% financing on select Ford trucks. Ford, Ram, built to haul, built to work. And if West Motor doesn't have exactly what you're looking for, they'll find it. West Motor Truck Month. Come experience the West Motor difference.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I
Welcome back to the For the People movie show with Andy Morgan of AndyAtTheMovies.com here in the studio. Straight up A from Andy for Project Hail Mary. His we both believe first A of the year. And Andy also predicting that there is at least talk, if not an actual nomination, for Ryan Gosling for his role in Project Hail Mary. And I say go see it. It's similar to The Martian, which was a huge hit and that everybody's seen a bit in story, but only in the first 3 minutes. And then it gets very, very different, and it is a really compelling story. So yeah, go see that one. Also in theaters here in Logan, you can see, I didn't think it was here, They Will Kill You, horror movie produced by the director of It.
It looks good.
It does actually look good.
It kind of looks in the vein of like Ready or Not.
Yeah, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm excited to see because Ready or Not, so Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, is, if you saw the first one, this has the coolest plot. So
it does.
Everything that happens to her in the first one, she decides, I could probably make money off of this.
Yeah.
And that is such a perfect idea. That's the first time I've ever thought a sequel actually needed to happen. When I read that was going to be the story. And you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen Ready or Not, the first one, if you haven't, go see this. If you're a fan of sort of the tongue-in-cheek horror movies, Ready or Not, the first one, has jump scares and it has a lot of tension and then also kind of a mystery, at least for the first 15 minutes before you figure out what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And it's just a really, really well done horror movie. And I'm hoping the second one is just
well, and we're starting to enter the busy season. So, I mean, we've got Project Hail Mary. Next week, there's a kind of an A24 drama that I think they're hoping, actually called The Drama, that I think they're hoping to have hit because of the cast. It's Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. So that looks, I'm interested in that.
She has a lot of movies this year.
Yeah, and then we also have the Super Mario Galaxy movie opening. That movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, made a lot of money a couple years ago. Also had
surprisingly good
Peaches, like Jack Black over and over. As we get further out though in April, we also have the Michael Jackson movie, which will be interesting to see.
I'm so torn.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna all land, to be honest.
I don't know. He has such a cool story up to a point, and then a creepy story. But really, I think the issue with this is everyone's trying to recreate what happened with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think there is enough air in the room for those types of movies to do that.
That's an interesting way to say it.
More than every 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an arbitrary number, but you know what I'm saying?
And how it feels controversial. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, let's be honest.
There's already online controversy about it even getting made.
Yeah, I mean, his daughter Paris says it's not accurate, and I don't think she means that in a good way. I think she means that in like, they've painted him as, rosier than he should be. His nephew or someone is playing him. So I don't know. Antoine Fuqua is a great director. He did Training Day. He's done a bunch of other movies. Like, he's typically in that action genre. So this is a little weird to see him doing this. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how it deals with some of the controversies around him. I mean, anyone that's seen, the documentary on HBO from those kids.
Yeah. That documentary is the first time I thought, okay, this might not have just been people trying to scam him for money. There are a few things in that documentary where I'm like,
Yeah, it's like the Dave Chappelle joke where he talks about Bill Cosby. He's like, it's 3 women. You go, oh, who knows? It's 15. You go, maybe there's a problem here.
Yeah.
He's like, there's 40 women, and you're like, the dude's a rapist.
Yeah, dropping things in their drinks, definitely. Yeah, that's. It really.
So I don't know how it's going to land.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
It looks like it's a retrospective on his full life because, like, the poster artwork kind of represents that. The trailer gives that impression, and they might just be, they might be trying to hold some stuff back. I guess we'll see when it comes out. But Those are some of the big ones. We also have The Devil Wears Prada 2 that's hitting the 1st of May. So that's, just basically a month away.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big hit. You know that is. People love that movie. That's like a cult.
Yeah.
Following. The Breadwinner.
That'll make money just because everyone has to go see.
Yeah.
The second one because they love the first one so much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. And then there's also Nate Bargatze, everyone's All-American kind of comedian. He's got a movie that hits theaters end of May.
I love his stand-up comedy. I don't know if he's going to work as a film actor. He's boring. That's why his stand-up comedy is funny.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of boring.
Well, and he's done SNL a couple times, and I thought he did pretty decent on that.
Yeah, his whole George Washington one where he's describing America in the future.
Yeah, that's...
And everyone will be equal, right? Anyway.
Yeah, that's funny.
So funny.
No, I also wonder, the guy is he is everywhere now. Like I said, he's been on SNL. He's got a stand-up tour that's been going on for, I think, 2 years.
Yeah.
He's got a couple movies that he's released. And then he wrote a book. He's got his stand-up specials. And I just am like, when does this guy see his family?
Someone says...
he does a game show, too.
I saw someone on, I think it was Twitter. Someone said, Nate Bargatze's career has been going so well. This is usually when the awful Me Too scandal drops.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's kind of the pattern for a lot of male comics is they got big and you start seeing them in movies and then this dark secret from their past comes out and everybody's like, they're icky now. Speaking of icky, it won't come here. Have you seen the trailer for Forbidden Fruits? I know nothing about this movie other than the plot is this. This woman's running a cult in the basement of the mall where she works in the daytime, and it looks kind of.
It's kind of a Mean Girls.
Yeah, like Mean Girls, but with like a horror movie twist a little bit. And,
they're witches.
Yeah, and it just I don't know.
Mean Girls meets what was the show? Charmed? No, not Charmed. Well, I think Charmed was the TV show, but it was based off of a late 90s.
Neve Campbell was in it.
Can't remember what that is.
I don't either.
As we go further out, there's a few other movies besides that. Have you seen the trailer for Hokum?
Yeah.
With Adam Scott.
Just barely.
That looks creepy.
That looks creepy. One that looked really creepy, just to mention it quick, kind of just came and went. Apparently was not as billed the scariest movie ever.
Oh.
Undertone.
Yeah.
That was in theaters for 47 minutes.
They actually pulled it when people were watching. They're like, sorry.
Honestly, it didn't
come back online.
I don't think it even made a full week.
No, that did not do well. Couple other big, I'm sure you saw this at Project Hail Mary. Did you see the trailer for the Sheep Detectives?
Yeah, I actually want to see this.
I think it looks good.
I've got to an age where I do get a bit grumpy middle-aged guy about the kids show sometimes.
Right.
I watched this one, some of the jokes, it just,
it does look good.
To derail us for her a bit, because a listener just sent in a link and said, I'd like to, on a future movie show, could Andy do a review of this? And it's a link. And then the listener said in parentheses, I actually am sending this in because I can't believe this exists. Someone made this. Why did someone make this? It's a YouTube clip to 19 Minutes of Silence is the name of the clip. It's 19 minutes long, and it's just a black screen. No sound. Someone made that and put it on YouTube for some reason. And they want you to watch this and then do a review next week of what you thought of 19 Minutes of Silence.
Actually, that sounds like the plot of Skinamarink. The scary movie Skinamarink. In this house.
I fall asleep about 37 seconds.
My question for you is on the weekend of May 8th, on Friday, May 8th.
Oh.
Are you going to see Sheep Detectives or are you going to see Mortal Kombat 2?
So, the Mortal Kombat movies are kind of a guilty secret of mine, or a guilty pleasure of mine. They're not good. I don't think I would ever recommend them to anybody, but they're kind of fun for me for some reason to watch. They're usually visually cool, and I felt the same way. Remember Assassin's Creed a little while ago?
Yeah.
Just a throwaway based on a video game movie.
Right.
But I really liked it. And, but I'm probably seeing Cheap Detectives first.
Yeah.
And then did you see, for everyone who, so this is controversial. I'll be quick because we've only got 6 minutes left here. And I know you got some more stuff to get to, but so the Angel Films trailer for Young Washington, they got some.
That's an old trailer because it says next July.
Next July. Yeah. That was, but they got some big names in this one. They got, Frasier, Kelsey Grammer. They got, Ben Kingsley.
I think with Frasier, that was an easy sell.
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, you've,
oh, I've been waiting for one of these. Not busy also.
Can't wait.
But Ben Kingsley surprised me, but he's also,
some people need a paycheck.
Yeah. He's also one that will do he was in 7 episodes of The Sopranos. Just bit roles. But so this is going to be controversial. They need to rename because they're never going to shake that attachment to that Operation Underground Railroad scandal with their very first film. And it's unfortunate because I don't blame them. They thought the story was true and it's not their fault. They made a movie and like 1 month later, all that comes out about Tim Ballard and the whole thing's kind of made up. So I don't blame Angel Studios, but I'm giving them some advice here. Rebrand, rename, go, and then give it a rest for a couple of years. Because I watched the trailer for this Young Washington and I thought this is as quality as a lot of other stuff you'd see released around, the July 4th holiday or just a fictionalized history. It's easily that level of quality and it'll probably be just as good, which is, C to B minus, probably on your grading scale level good movie. But they won't be able to do it with their current branding.
Well, and
it's tainted.
I already feel like this,
and I feel bad for them.
I already feel like this is tainted anyway because, George Washington in the trailer, he has a full set of nice, shiny, pearly whites.
And he's like 17.
He's got Joe Biden teeth but Washington had lead teeth. But no, if you go through, and I mean, again,
fair point.
I'm just going to say, like this, there is an audience.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
For these movies.
I watched this trailer and I thought this is quality. You got big name actors. You've obviously put some work in on this one, and your own brand is now going to hold it back.
Well, and these are, again,
go rebrand, rename your production company.
No, there's
hide out for 2 years.
Yeah, and there's a group.
Can make some serious money.
There's a group here of actors that are typically like their go-tos in all these. You know what I mean?
Well, and the one guy's out there.
I mean,
I can't remember his name.
Well, you got, I can't remember the actor. I want to say, what was it? It was, I can't remember the actor's name, but, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Yellowstone. He was one of the villains in Yellowstone. And he was like, well, they said I couldn't be in Hollywood if I didn't kiss another lady. And I'm like, what?
Oh, I do remember that because everyone was like, huh?
Yeah. No, it's just
that sounds made up.
I think what it is there's just people that don't. I mean, I have to give Angel Studios credit. Like they have branded themselves as, hey, we're an alternative to those dirty sitting centers in Hollywood. We've got this new, studio that's better.
It's the Caviezel guy.
Oh yeah, Jim Caviezel.
He's the conspiracy.
Well, and
he's got some pretty wacky.
Most
opinions.
of all these people have been in mainstream Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, Caviezel was, but he's.
Then they move.
He and Randy Quaid should start a club.
Well,
that's the way I'll put it.
Dennis Quaid has joined that club. The brothers have, but then you've got like.
Is there something in Canada's water that just makes them prone to what being conspiracy theory?
I have no idea, but you've got again,
Canadians are going to be yelling at us.
I don't like this at all. You guys are so rude. Boom. So again, I think for me, good for them. I mean, they've very clearly done something.
And I'm honestly saying this with kindness in my heart because I watched that Washington trailer and I thought they are trying so hard and they really put the work in on this one, and yet it's attached to that brand that for a lot of people is going to just be, like the after school special of,
by the way,
movies. And anyway.
Neil McDonough, that's what, Neil McDonough is the actor's name. So yeah, he's been in a bunch. Greg Kinnear, Michael Chiklis.
I forgot about Greg.
Michael Chiklis.
He was big for a while and then disappeared. Next week
we'll be talking scary movies, actually.
Oh yeah, there's 3, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. You can read more from Andy in between now and next Friday at 5 at andyatthemovies.com. And I hope you'll stick around. Dave Ramsey is next here on KVNU Logan.